Good morning, everyone. Jim Clark here at the Synchronicity Sanctuary in Central Virginia to share another contemplative focus with you today. And the focus that I want to share today is just this. Just this. This is it. An old Buddhist teaching reminds us that the path is the goal. In essence, we are already on it, right here, right now. Every moment of consciousness, every experience is part of the journey of one blissful, loving awareness. Because in truth, nothing else exists. As we grow in our individual consciousness, our holistic awareness deepens. We awaken more fully to the realization that we are both the path and the destination. Past and future dissolve into the vibrant presence of the now, where all goals vanish into the eternal flow of one consciousness. So, just this, whatever this is for you, that's it. And that is everything, because in truth, there is only one blissful consciousness that is all and everything. Now, we don't have that direct experience if we're still locked into our mind, of course. We're living in the illusion of our egocentric self and the world that we have around it. But this is the only way we could be here to have this experience in the first place. So it's not something that doesn't belong here. It's something we have to have. It's a tool that allows us to have the human experience in the first place. So just this is enough, because with this we can evolve, and we can evolve in our awareness expansion, which is happening, whether you realize it or not, whether you have any sense of it or not. That's all we're doing here. Consciousness can only ever be itself. So what? It's like we have the ego, we have the dramas and all that within the illusion of separation, within the illusion of I'm just human kind of an experience. And but beyond that, beyond the mind, which is what keeps us from having the full experience of our truth, our truthful nature, that we are that blissful consciousness that we are seeking. And it's like we go through lifetimes of evolution to reach a point in our evolving awareness, and the we call the momentum of our evolution keeps accelerating until we reach a point where we generate experiences of awakening in our life, where meditation comes into our life, where maybe even a master of meditation comes into our life and journeys us really good and truthfully about where our feet are within this context. It's not a journey of whether you're worthy or not. That's the ego. It's a journey of being truthful for ourselves in terms of where we are in our evolution. It's not whether we are or not, it's we are. There's no choice in that, because that is the primary intention of consciousness, to fully be itself in all the different expressions of itself. So in the 8+ billion expressions that are currently running around the earth, every one of those expressions has got the same primary intention within, and that is what's happening for them as well, irregardless of where they are in that process. I believe my teacher often said that there's no two people in exactly the same place in this progressive evolutionary process. And so, irregardless of what things appear like, irregardless of how much awareness any one person has with relation to their own experience as source consciousness, that's really all there is. So, and that's all that's happening, is we're in the game of pretending to be other than what we are. And then we're progressing to realize fully who we truly are. It's just a game. It's a game of consciousness that is playing with itself. Otherwise, how could it fully be itself without the experience of itself? And to have that experience, it has to be, in this case, a human being on planet Earth, a dense, low planet, pretty planet out there floating around in space, and yet it has to pretend to be all these manifestations, even though it created those manifestations out of the nothingness that it is. And one of the things that was very common and is very common and apparent is self-worth, or the lack of it. When we're born as a human being into this world, we are taking on the role that we came here to take on. And one thing that's pretty much common through most human beings is we have serious self-worth issues. We don't think we're good enough. We don't think we are enough. In one form or another, we disempower ourselves. Either as a human being, or even deeper than that, we disempower ourselves by creating a God that has sent us to earth to suffer for our sins, and so forth and so on. If you look at all these themes, which are worldwide in some form or another, this is a common human experience. I shouldn't be here. This isn't right. What did I do? And on and on and on. But this is it. Just this. The experience I'm having right now, speaking here in front of my camera, is just this for me, right in here and now. For you who are watching, it's your moment, and that's the experience you're having, and that is perfectly appropriate for your journey. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it, because consciousness is in control. Consciousness is orchestrating the show, the whole show, and nothing but the show, okay? So you don't have to worry about being in control. You don't have to worry about whether or not this is right or that's wrong, or figuring out or trying to understand with your mind what it will never understand, because it just can't go there. That's not, the mind is created to be part of the illusion, not part of the truth. Consciously, that is, because it is part of the truth, because in essence, everything in creation is coming out of the truth for the sake of the truth, to fully be the truth. So here we are on the stage, the human stage of evolving consciousness, to pretend that we're not the consciousness, the blissful consciousness, the loving consciousness that we truly are. That is sort of beneath, that's an area that the mind keeps us away from, because we're locked into the mind and all the dramas and all the judgments and all the self-worth issues that are created in the mind. And if that's all we know, then that's how we see ourselves in our own human experience. And this is normal, this is supposed to be. So, irregardless of what's going on worldwide, now that we have the internet and news is just overwhelming our lives every moment, because we can all access the latest news, whatever that might be, the latest illusion of what's happening. That's way I see it, and it looks that way. And it's very easy to get into that and see it that way, because there's so much momentum in that illusion. The world is going to end. We're going to kill ourselves. It's going to be destroyed. We don't really know what's going to happen. And it doesn't matter what's going to happen, because the only thing that's really happening is consciousness being itself, pretending to be other than it is, as it plays the creation game that we are all participating in. And that's really it. Just this. Just this. Whatever that is for you in this moment, or any moment. That's the destination that you needed to be, find, and participate in. You couldn't be any more on target and appropriate in your life experience than you are right now. And that goes for me, it goes for everybody, because we came here to have the experiences we need to have in order to fulfill our primary intention to fully be ourselves. And oftentimes it looks just like the opposite of that just before that realization hits us. And, so it's inexplicable, it's unknowable, and there's no way that the mind can ever wrap itself around the truth of what it really is, because it's not designed to do that. It's designed to be the part to create the illusion to enable the creation game to happen, and so that consciousness can pretend that it's something that it's not, and then it can fully discover itself, and then the aha moment comes and consciousness is celebrating itself as the truth that it has always been in that moment for every human being on the planet. So this is an ongoing process. Who knows how many other places, planets or whatever, where it's happening with different forms, but that's a speculation. We know that our journey as human beings is, on the one hand, the illusion is not looking very good. It never has looked that great. And on the other hand, when you have had the breakthrough, when you've had, even just for a moment in your life, if you've ever had the experience of who you truly are, you are forever changed in that moment, and it won't leave you, because it's that powerful. The truth is so powerful, it's beyond description. And there's certainly no way to understand it or to second guess what's going to happen. Maybe if you're evolved to a certain level, you can see all that. But for me, from my experience here, it's in this moment, it's giving this live stream. It's covering the topics. It's sharing part of the teaching that I have experienced here at Synchronicity for the last 40 years or so. And it's all I'm doing. There's nothing special about it. It doesn't make me any more than I already am, because I can't be any more than I already am. And so that's that. I mean, it's almost like, why are we even saying this? Because we're reminding ourselves of the truth of who we are. We're reminding ourselves that being a human being and living within the illusion of being a human being and without a direct experience of our truth, we need to remind ourselves of what's really happening here and what's going on, and to stop trying to second guess our value, our truth with our mind, because the mind will always come up with stories about who we are not. It's good at that. It's designed to do that. And it's perfectly okay that it keeps doing that, because if you're watching this, most likely you've had enough experiences yourself that you know that that's really not true. It's not literally true for sure. And that irregardless of where you are in your path, you're on your path, and nothing you can do to change that, because we're not orchestrating the show as individual human beings. We may think we are, it may look like we are, but in truth, it's just this. And this is the creation of consciousness itself for its own creation game process to fully realize itself. And in order to experience itself for what it truly is, it must pretend like it's not itself. Otherwise, it just is. And that's it. So it's just a game that it plays to remind itself of the truth of itself and to celebrate itself in the process. So just this, whatever this is for you, whatever it is for me, whatever it is for anyone, is it. And it's something to celebrate, even though, of course, we understand that there's a lot of suffering involved. But in terms of just this, it doesn't seem like a celebration, but it's a prelude to something much better and much more celebratory to follow. So enjoy your just this, whatever it happens to be, realizing and contemplating what that is for you, and understanding that whatever your experience is, it's leading you to the full recognition of your own truth and the experience of that, which is, from my experience, as the best moment anyone can ever have in any lifetime. So with that, I'll bid you adieu. I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. So I'm going to leave this right now, and hopefully this contemplation will do something positive for you.